Hello, everybody. It is Friday. That means it's time for the Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John on AM-1220 KHTS.
You're a liar. You're a liar.
What do you mean?
You're lying.
I just announced the show.
You're
How can I be lying?
I don't know. I just watched the debate the other day. It seemed like a cool idea. Just call everybody a liar.
Oh, at least you're not calling me Little Doug.
You're lying.
Like Little Marco.
You're lying. You're lying. I have a theory. This whole thing is playing out like a bad political thriller novel.
Or a bad dream, which is...
Or one of both. But definitely not written by our friend and really all-around great guy, Robert Patrick Lewis. Read The Pact. There's a plug. Anyway,
good book.
All right, think about it. Who's going to be able to run for president from the Democratic side? It's not going to be Bernie.
No.
It's going to be Hillary. Now, Hillary's got some issues, right?
No kidding.
Now, we'll talk about Hillary's issues later. But suppose Hillary has to pick a running mate.
Right.
She could pick a lot of people, couldn't she?
Yep.
She could pick Bill Clinton.
No way.
She could pick Barack Obama. Yes?
No, she couldn't.
But wait a minute, John.
No.
But wait a minute, you say, John. No, she couldn't.
No,
well,
because you can't be a third term. And
hang on.
If he was vice president and she died, then he'd get...
Yeah, but hang on a second.
Okay.
All right. This is completing my theory. I've seen these things from time to time. And from a constitutional standpoint, let me throw in something else. You don't know how that Supreme Court justice died, do you? They didn't do an autopsy.
Oh.
Just throwing that out there, because now the makeup of the Supreme Court is going to be pretty liberal. And if it's not the Supreme Court, if it's a tie, where does it go? Back to the very liberal Circuit Court. So I'm just throwing that out there. Okay, so under the 12th Amendment, which was passed in 1804, it says that nobody who is constitutionally ineligible to be president can be vice president.
Okay, so there you go. You nailed it.
No, you think so, but wait. All right. That was written 150 years before the 22nd Amendment, which says it prohibits a two-term president from being, wait for it, re-elected. Okay. Now, the terms there from a legal standpoint.
So elected is the key word there?
And constitutionally eligible. Constitutionally eligible at the time of the 12th Amendment was what we're fighting about with Marco Rubio. A natural-born citizen, 35 years
Ted Cruz,
Ted Cruz, I'm sorry. Yeah. Natural-born citizen, 14 years of residence, 35 years of age. It was the 35 years of age that threw me because Rubio looks like he's like 15. He looks like he was a paper boy. So you've got constitutionally ineligible, re-elected. Let's make it more realistic. Say Bill, it's a Clinton ticket. Okay, you thought it was good the first time. Just wait till it's good the second time, and double your pleasure, double your fun. We'll have Clinton for everyone.
Oh my goodness!
And say Hillary goes, something. I've had it. I'm out of here. I'm going. With my never mind. I was going someplace that was not going to be good. But she decides to resign. So Bill becomes president. He wasn't elected. The 22nd Amendment says that it prohibits a two-term president from being re-elected.
So it could be Barack, too.
It could be Barack Obama. It's ambiguous. And ambiguity in the Constitution goes to who, Doug? The Supreme Court.
And if they're liberal,
it goes
leaning.
Yeah, you got it.
Oh, my goodness.
There's my theory.
Gracious.
Now, somebody's going to write a novel about this or make it a movie.
So you're saying we could have Mr. Obama back.
We could have Mr. Obama back.
Or Mr. Clinton.
Or it could be Bush, but it probably won't be.
No.
Anyway, all right. Please don't call us.
Any other good news?
No, that was all I had. I was kind of bored. Anyway, a board attorney who knows the Constitution, not a good thing.
Not a good thing.
All right, you've been listening to Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John on AM-1220 KHTS, Santa Clarita's hometown station. We are back after these breaks.
Welcome back, everybody. You're listening to AM-1220 KHTS, Santa Clarita's hometown station. It is the Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John. It's the radio digest version of the Santa Clarita Gazette for all you need to know to be in the know.
And you know what I know?
What do you know?
I know what time it is.
What time is it?
You know what time it is.
Heather's Highlights?
Heather's Highlights.
All right, it's Heather Harbin, the, what are you, the news director?
Senior news director.
Senior news
director.
I
just threw that in there for you. So, I know what's going on. It's
John, don't make her laugh starting.
Oh, no, I know what's going on because I was looking at it, and we have breaking news for this morning.
We do. In fact, it was not only big news for the Santa Clarita Valley, but also for the entire Los Angeles County. O.J. Simpson, a knife was recovered from his former home in Brentwood. It was more than 20 years after he was found not guilty for the killings of his ex-wife and his family.
Yeah,
We need to
but
remember.
wait a
minute,
minute.
John. They never found the murder
But
weapon.
wait a minute.
They did not, no.
It's even more convoluted than that. They didn't find what happened from what I heard, because I was listening to the news, because this is intriguing to me. The knife was found by a construction worker when they were tearing down his
Correct.
house.
Yes.
Okay. The knife was then given to an LAPD,
an off-duty police officer.
Yeah.
Police officer.
Who kept it?
Yeah, why did he keep it?
He kept it. And then suddenly, 20 years later, he gives it up. That's the story now.
There's not many details to go along with that yet.
And the knife is, did hear the knife is being tested for
It
DNA.
is. Forensics is currently testing the knife. We don't have the results yet, but the time the knife was discovered actually is not known.
Yeah. They've got to do a lot more
they're not completely sure that it is related to the 1994 killings of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman.
Now, I personally think, okay, in a related story, does anybody know the ratings for the OJ TV show? Because if they're going in the tube, I think this is a Fox ploy. That's a ploy from Fox
get
TV,
better
from FX
ratings?
TV to get better ratings for OJ Simpson, American Crime Story. Or
They
whatever it is.
wouldn't do that.
Seriously?
We also have a connection to the story right here in the Santa Clarita Valley. Kim Goldman, she is the executive, she is with the Santa Clarita Valley Youth Project.
Oh, that's right.
Uh-huh.
Right.
And she, Ronald Goldman is actually her brother.
Right.
Brother, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, she's been on Fox News. She was on Fox News talking about when the show started.
Yeah. See? And the
refused to watch
ratings
it.
probably
Yeah.
went down. She's not watching it. There's a lot of people not watching. After the Bronco scene, is there really anything you really want to watch?
Yeah.
After the Bronco chase. I guarantee you ratings in the toilet. Hey, let's plant a knife. We'll get OJ back in the news. This will be great.
Yeah, I
got two conspiracy theories going.
I don't know where they found the actress, though, to play the prosecutor. What was her name?
Marcia Clark?
Yeah. She looks just like her.
Oh, yeah. I think what's his face is doing a good job as OJ, too.
Yeah. Cuba Gooding
Jr.
Yeah.
Sorry. All right, we digress again.
No problem.
What else is new?
I don't know if you guys heard about the tragic crash in Commerce that happened over the weekend.
Yeah, that was sad.
Two out of the three victims were College of the Canyon students. They were 18 and 19 years old. A candlelight vigil was just held for them on Wednesday night so friends and families could pay their respects.
Yeah.
They were actually killed on the way home from Disneyland on February 27th when their car was struck by a UPS truck.
Yeah.
The driver of the UPS truck died as well. His name was Scott Treadway, and he was from Mira Loma. He was 52 years old.
And no real cause. It was just one of those things. It wasn't.
They are suspecting street racing.
Really?
The man, his name is Delio Lockhart. He's 35 years old, and he's from Whittier. He is being charged with second-degree murder, along with other counts. He is due back in court. He is due back in court later this month.
One car was racing, lost control of the car, hit the UPS truck.
Yeah.
The UPS truck
flipped
flipped over the center divider.
Right under the
Right on it.
We
what I was saying is it wasn't. It's not their fault. It was just a thing. It's not like the drunk driving stuff that we see all the time. Makes it sadder somehow.
Yep.
Yeah, we actually talked to Michelle the victims' names were Michelle Littlefield and Brian Lewandowski. Yeah. We actually spoke with Michelle's mother, and she said she has no anger towards the drivers, and she thinks that their conscience will.
Yeah.
She believes their conscience will do more than what she can say to
that's
them.
a good point.
The rest of their lives.
Yes.
Yeah, that's horrible.
She also said Michelle tried to improve herself in every aspect of her life and tried to improve her friends' lives as well. So,
what a shame.
Yeah, it's very tragic. Michelle's services are scheduled for next week, and Brian's services were held this past Thursday.
Wow, that's got to be just miserable. Mm-hmm. Yeesh. All right, so what else is going on in the news in Santa Clarita? There's got to be something a little bit more uplifting.
Yes, we do have more uplifting news.
Okay,
good.
Two locals
Good.
actually won Oscars this past Sunday.
Seriously.
Yes, Brie Larson. She's not directly from the Santa Clarita Valley. Her mother did work for Carousel Ranch in Agua Dulce.
Oh, okay.
She won an Oscar for Best Actress for Room.
That sounds like a depressing movie. Did you see it?
I did not see it.
I did not see it. Did you see it? Yeah, Doug would see it. Okay, never mind.
I only saw The Big Short.
Wow.
It was good.
It was good.
I didn't see any of the Oscars.
Seriously?
Any of the movies
What
that were
do you do
Wow.
on your time off?
Wow.
The news lady ain't talking.
Yeah. As your attorney, I advise you to take the fifth. Just well, that's cool. Who was the other guy that won the Oscar?
His name was Pete Docter. He was a graduate of Cal Arts in 1990. He won an Oscar for Best Animated Feature Film for Inside Out.
Oh yeah, I saw him. Yeah.
And I actually did see Inside Out.
Oh, so you did see the movie? Okay.
I saw
you go to
one of
those kind of movies.
No, not necessarily. Yeah, but
Doug, that was a cartoon.
I know.
Animated.
That's what I said, those kind of movies.
I know, but the way you said those kind of movies is a little creepy. Okay, I'm just saying, those kind of movies. It's a little creepy. All right, I apologize for him, Heather.
No problem. And also some other uplifting news. Six Flags Magic Mountain recently unveiled they will be using virtual reality on their on the new Revolution. It's going to be the very first roller coaster in North America to use fully integrated virtual reality.
Okay.
Now wait. You got to explain. I don't understand what that means. If you're on a roller coaster, you can feel it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Exactly.
what's this? I thought it was inside of some movie theater. You sat there.
No, that's like 1990s logic or 1980s, amusement parks where they would put you in there and show you a video,
Yeah,
and you'd be like,
cool.
"Oh, look, the whole theater
But it
goes
made
to
my
right."
stomach
Okay.
turn.
You're still
Gave me a headache.
You still actually are on the roller coaster while you're doing it. They put I believe it's called an Oculus on your head, and it shows you. It says they show you flying through a futuristic city, engaged in a battle to protect the planet against alien invaders.
Think about it, Doug. While you are on the roller coaster, they put a movie right in front of your eyes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're actually on the roller coaster,
Right.
wearing this eye headset thing. I imagine it's got to go over here. Oh, Heather, what do you think about that? That's not very sanitary, is it?
Well, we'll have to see what they do.
Yeah,
with it.
you were concerned about that, but I let you off the hook. Put this thing on your head, covers your eyes, and projects the movie right in front of you. So in the movie, when it looks like you're turning left, you're actually turning left on the roller coaster. When you're going down, instead of looking around and seeing Santa Clarita from the top of the hill,
Right.
you're looking and you're seeing whatever they want to project into that little movie that you're looking at.
So they could really mess you up.
They could really mess you up. They could play the scene from Mary Poppins when you're out horse racing, and there's all kinds of weird things they could play.
We actually do have pictures on hometownstation.com of what it is proposed to look like.
So is this going to cost more money, or is it all part of getting in, or?
They haven't announced pricing yet. It is not open to the public. It will not be open to the public for a while. That will be announced at a later date. It's still under construction right now.
I don't know.
You don't like roller coasters.
Yeah, so
I know,
forget it.
Heather, you don't like roller coasters.
Not so much.
I will go on it. If you guys pay, I will go on it and I will report back to the station, okay?
You don't have a season
Sounds good.
pass?
Don't have a season pass, but it sounds good. I'll even take our sound guy with us, our producer with us.
Sounds good. Excuse me. It would
He
actually.
said he'd go.
Excuse me. It will actually debut in the spring, but no specific date has been
Okay,
announced.
very interesting.
So I think you give me a press pass, you get me in there, I'll report back. I'll even write where you can find all this stuff. I'll even write a story for
KHTS.
at
What about the Gazette?
HometownStation.com.
maybe the Gazette too.
Okay.
You guys can share. I'll be that talented. I'll change a couple words here or there. You'll never know.
All right.
Thank you so much for having me.
Is that it?
That's all we
We
have
got more
today.
time.
We
Well,
could
No, I'm teasing.
that's all the stories
She
we have
doesn't
for
know what to
today.
make of us.
I know. It's a feeling
I'm
out
like her
period.
nerd dad or something.
Well, you're like everybody's nerd dad, Doug. Come on, really? There are people walking the streets of Old Town Newhall and think, oh look, there's my nerd dad.
All right, Heather, thank you.
Thank you.
Heather's highlights, everybody.
Heather's
Heather
highlights.
Arvin, the news director, KHTS.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So we've
Speaking of the Gazette,
we've got more stuff going on, don't we?
Hope I typed it in right.
We've got lots more stuff.
we have our lead reporter for the Gazette, Mr. Lee Barnathan. Are you there, sir?
Yes.
We should just assume that
Hold
he's
on,
there from
guys.
now on.
How are you doing today?
Doing well. We got on the first time. Didn't have to.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Rub
Lee,
that one in, Lee.
First lesson, don't talk bad about the station.
Second lesson: cash your paycheck from Doug as quick as possible.
Yes.
All right. So, Lee, you hit home to me, for me at least, with the two stories that you got both on the front page of the Gazette this week, and I want to talk to you about both of them. But let's start with the lesser one first, okay? And the one that teaches a better lesson: the $20,000 or $10,000, $20 or $10,000. That's just it was. Well, you tell me. What's that article about?
The article is very simply about a service. You want to You can't drive? Call these guys. They'll drive you. And here's what they do differently. They pick you up and they drive you home in your car. Meanwhile, another car follows them, so when you get home, you have your car, and the driver then goes to the other car, and away they go. And for mostly, $20. I say mostly because a few outlying places will be more, but basically throughout all Santa Clarita, it's basically just $20.
Okay, does that seem that seems like a ridiculous bargain, doesn't it? I mean, it's not just me. I'm looking at this, I'm going, $20. First of all, you avoided the entire DUI thing. But you got two people. You don't have to. There's always that walk of shame the next morning when you have to figure out how to go back and get your car.
Which is what happens when people use Uber or Lyft. You know, if you get a ride home from Uber, if you left your car at the establishment, you got to figure out, like you said, how to go back and get it.
Yeah. And it's the same with a taxi.
Right.
Same thing.
Yeah. You know, which of the choices, I mean, obviously, anything's better than driving while intoxicated. You want to take.
But I don't even want to use the word intoxicated because even if you had 2 beers or 2 glasses of wine, you're usually over the limit.
Okay, so. What are you going to say? Over the legal limit?
Right.
Intoxicated.
Point away takes almost no time at all to get drunk.
Yeah, exactly. And it's drunk in the eyes of the law, Doug. It's not necessarily drunk that how you feel.
Exactly.
You'll go out and buy for like $35. You used to be able to find them at Sharper Image, a pocket breathalyzer that attaches to your keychain, and do that a couple times and see. It's like, okay, you've had 3 beers on an empty stomach and you're over the limit. So it's scary.
Lee, did you get the impression from the owner of the company that they do it as a service, or are they in it for the profit also?
I don't get a sense of profit. I get a sense of a service. It's more important to get home safely than to make money. And they make it really reasonable at, like I said, only $20. It's far more important. Far more important to get home.
I think you're right.
Key.
I think you're right. It's got to be. I mean, you got to have 2 people per. From a business standpoint, you got to have 2 people per drive.
Right.
And you're paying them each $10 per drive. They're going to do 2 drives a night. They're making $20.
Well, I'm sure he gets part of that, but yeah.
No, they do more than a couple drives a night. They're going from 7 p.m. till at least 3 a.m. He told me that typically he sleeps from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And John, when you were saying, because our headline is $20 or $10,000, and Lee, roughly $10,000 is what it's going to cost you all in if you get a DUI, right?
It's better that way. The headline is a great headline because it really does tell you your choice.
Yeah.
So don't be arrogant. Don't be stupid.
Yeah.
Because you know what drives me nuts when I hear that a celebrity that has all kinds of money gets a DUI, whether it's an athlete or a movie, somebody in the entertainment industry. Why didn't they can afford a limo? It drives me nuts when those guys get busted for DUI.
Sometimes I think it's actually part of their plan for publicity because any publicity is good publicity.
I suppose you're right.
Yeah. Now, far be it from me to point out something negative in the Gazette, but the one thing I didn't see, their phone number.
Oh, well, it's not an ad, John. They have to pay me if they want.
Okay. Wow. All right. So we won't tell anybody their phone number.
Actually, I might have it.
I was going to say, Doug, I think you have their phone number. Okay, so while Doug looks for the phone number, let's start talking about the other article you wrote, the turf wars. Okay, now this is huge because it's not just football turf wars. A lot of people use the fields of the local high schools to play all kinds of sports, everything from lacrosse to soccer to football, you name it. And they've got a lot of athletes on those fields. And I read the article in the Times, that was probably a while ago, that said that some of those things, everybody's seen those turf fields, and do you know why, Lee, they put the rubberized stuff on the fields?
Best I can tell is because it's a great way to still fall on something soft because it is rubber, and it recycles. Now you have all these tires that have been recycled.
Right.
So that's a positive, too. That's my guess. Those are the two main reasons why they use pulverized tire rubber.
Yeah, it adds a little bit of cushion. It also kind of helps separate the grass still, because artificial turf would kind of get clumpy.
Right.
But even the soccer center had used this stuff for years. It was like the cutting edge.
Right.
They would recycle tires, small little tiny pieces. I mean, I'd have them in my shoes after playing soccer.
Right. That's what I was going to say. You know, when you go to a high school game or even at COC, or you see pictures in the paper, it looks like a really nice green field, but you get down there and look around, and my son played football for Canyon High, and he would come home, and the stuff would be everywhere.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. And
it was in his car from...
And then they're saying now that it might cause cancer.
No way. Is that the gist of the story, Lee?
There is a fear that because there are so many hazardous chemicals in tire rubber that people might get ill and sick and cancer over the course of a lifetime.
Yeah,
but
that's...
As everyone in that industry will tell you, we've got 20 years of studies that say it's safe. Yeah, well, Congress says we've heard enough. We're going to do our own report.
Right.
And so we'll see what happens at the end of the year, which makes this story incomplete because you've got people such as Linda Peckham, the Hart Athletic Director, who expressed major concern to the Valencia Athletic Director, Brian Steinman, who says, well, I'm aware of this, but I've never heard of anybody telling me that there's any problem, to Jeff Hallman, the athletic director at Saugus, who is himself a cancer survivor, saying, okay, I can believe anything. I'm going to be looking out for this also.
Yeah.
Golden Valley and West Ranch, who get new fields next year, to Hart and Saugus, who are getting new fields this year.
Is there an alternative to the crushed rubber?
There is. There is cork. The cork that are in wine bottles, that kind of stuff.
Hey, I know a lot of people who would help recycle those. I mean, I know we could drink a little bit more wine every once in a while and help out the local high schools.
John, you're getting off topic.
We could have cork drives for the local high school.
It looks different, it feels different, and most people don't like it. COC, by the way, has a cork field, so if you want to know how they like it, go talk to Hart and Saugus who play there.
Right.
They'll tell you how much like it. Mike Harrington likes it, but not too much. But I think he's in the minority because they seem to always bring in pulverized rubber. They're not putting in.
Yeah, they're not doing a whole lot of cork stuff.
They're not doing cork. They're doing tire rubber.
So you're saying that
rubber, as they call it.
You're saying West Ranch and Golden Valley are those the two that are getting new fields?
Next year. This year, Hart and Saugus are getting them.
Are they going to be able to decide, or is that what the athletic director of the district's going to help decide? Can they say, hey, we want cork instead of rubber?
The district can do that. I don't know what the district's going to do.
Right.
The only thing I got from the district was a comment that, again, they're not aware of any such health concerns. You know, for me, I always thought that maybe I figured that a football player would get tackled and the stuff would bounce into his mouth. But no coach I spoke to said they've heard that.
It doesn't really happen
enough. As a referee, I run around the field and I'm getting this stuff in my shoes.
Yeah.
And I take my shoe off and I dump out stuff. It's like sand at the beach.
Yep. I agree entirely.
So you referee soccer games, right?
I do.
Do you see that stuff flying up, or do you see it all over the place, or you just get it in your shoes?
You don't see it flying. You see it in your shoes. And for some particularly bad fields, I remember El Camino Real had a field as literally as last year. And there was just clumps of this stuff in certain pockets. And the field was bad, and it got replaced. I was on the field this year, and it's a beautiful field, and it's soft, and it's wonderful. But even the top field, the softest field I've ever been on, was at Harvard Westlake in Studio City.
Right.
And there's clumps there.
It clumps up, and you have to.
It's like it feels like you're running around. You're bouncing on soft cushion. It's wonderful for your knees. You don't feel a thing.
Right.
But then you come off the field, stuff's in your shoe. Look on the field. Oh, there's a clump there at the 30-yard line.
Yep.
There's a clump right there in the middle of the field. It's whatever reason. This
wait till it rains.
Moves around.
Wait till it rains.
Oh, I'm sure rain has a lot to do with it.
John, do you happen to know the professional in college have the same stuff?
I don't know whether the pro teams have the crushed rubber or the crumb rubber stuff. I think they do, actually.
Interesting.
But their fields are probably also 10,000 to 100,000 times more than what we're trying to put in high schools here. So, all right,
Lee Barnett, Nathan, everybody, one of the head writers for the Santa Cruz Gazette, and we appreciate your work, Lee, and we appreciate you coming on.
Glad to do it.
All right, Lee, we'll talk to you soon.
All right.
All right. You've been listening to Gazette Radio. Oh, Doug, wait a minute.
What?
Do you have the phone number for
Oh, yes, I do, somewhere.
Designated drivers of Santa Clarita?
Yes, 313-8336.
313-8336.
313-8336.
Put that in your phone, everybody. All right, you've been listening to Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John on AM-1220 KHTS, Santa Cruz hometown station. We're back after this.